So the year 2024 has been a remarkable year. It came with its own challenges. It came with its own issues, particularly for the housing sector. We had, months where what we constantly kept talking about was the increase of building materials, building collapsing, and a whole lot. So as an expert, let's hear from you, your review for the housing sector in the year 2024 as we wrap up the year.
Thank you, Memona. I'm pleased to be here to look into what happened in 2024 housing industry, housing sector or real estate sector. We started the year on a very good note with a high expectation. I can report here that from what we got from the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics report for the first quarter 2024, the real estate sector contributed 11.5 trillion naira to the GDP of Nigeria. So we started on a very good, hard working by great stakeholders in the housing industry from different areas of the sector, the building materials, the real estate, the manufacturing sector, in the sector. And I must say that going toward the second quarter, the economy became a big problem for the industry. As I'm always telling people, you cannot separate housing from the economy of the country.
Of course.
Once the economy of the country is not good, we should be expecting that economy will have effect on the housing sector. The economy of 2024 is characterized of high inflation. It's characterized of poor exchange rates. Nigerian naira lost its value. Everywhere we travel to, what we see is not encouraging. Even in African countries, changing Nigerian naira to Ghana, cedis, changing it to rand for South Africa, it was not a good one, I must say. Therefore, that created a serious effect on the sector. Apart from the exchange rates, we also have the challenge of the interest rate. As I said, the inflation was high. People are spending so much on transportation, so much on other things, which affected the production of those goods. And as a result, the price has to come up. The interest rates moved totally to the 2 digits. 2 digits, as we all know, is not good for the delivery of affordable housing. 2 digits, even for delivering luxury homes, it's not also easy. It also always have effects on the commercial market. Take for instance the MCR from the Central Bank of Nigeria. As of today, is 27.5. So how will you go and borrow money and then use it without selling it in line with how much you have spent on it? That affected the housing industry. So I can report to you here that in 2024, due to the high interest rates, lending rates in the banks, the cost of those houses became highly affordable for those people that really need the houses. We have increase in number of estate developers that abandon their projects. Don't forget, cement had jumped up seriously to a level of 9,500. At the time, 8,000. At the time, I remember the Minister for Housing had to engage the manufacturers of building materials. But they have to sell on the basis of the expenses they are being taken. So these are issues. And then looking at somebody who has borrowed money at a high interest rate, he cannot build luxury home. He cannot build affordable housing. He has to build luxury. And people want to buy the houses. When they don't have the affordability for the houses, they resorted to renting. And that affected the rental market in 2024. So the landlord, here and there, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja's residents are the major victims. And as I'm telling you, the renter is still high. Yeah. Those who will have gone to buy have resorted in going back to rent because they cannot afford to buy because of the increase in prices. So the only succor that's supposed to have come in 2024 should have come from Federal Mortgage Bank. And that is the Federal Mortgage Bank versus mortgage banks. Okay. We cannot report to you here now that this is how many mortgages that were created in Nigeria in 2021. But I can report to you here that due to mortgage, the single obligor problem in the Federal Mortgage Bank, a good number of mortgage banks will not have access to that funding in the Federal Mortgage Bank that is always at 6-7%. Federal Mortgage Bank is the only one that can offer single digit interest rate. And I can report to you because of this problem that a good number of mortgage banks did not do well in 2024. I've reported to you that the prices of iron rod, building materials generally were up. And I must also report the corruption in the area of the building materials. We have good reports of people buy iron rod and the size they call for them when they put the gauge in it is different from what they bought. So these are the challenges that characterize the 2024 that housing industry have to arrest as we move into 2025. But I must say that the stakeholders in the housing industry must be commended. I must use this opportunity to thank all of them. Nigerians are very hard, despite the fact that these things are here and there affecting their development. I can still report to you that activities of real estate developers in Lagos is very commendable. Activities of real estate developer in Abuja, very commendable. And in fact, some state government also made efforts, such as Sokoto, Kashina, Nasarawa, River State, and Borno, Yobe. And I think some activity is also taking place in Ogun. Lagos is also working. So Edo also did well. So I can tell you these are the states that did a lot of impact in the area of housing in 2024. I must commend all the stakeholders. I must say a very big thank you to them, and they must be ready. I cannot end this review of 2024 performance of the housing industry without also look at what the Ministry of Housing did. I can report to you that the Renew Hope is working in at least nothing less than 34 states. Yeah. And then we open that from January, they should commence having commissioning. So we can report that a good number of houses are springing up from the Renew Hope agenda. And I can also tell you here that in 2024, the committee that was set up by the Honorable Minister for Housing, they also within the year submitted their report. So this is one of the achievements we can talk about in the year 2024. 2024. I can also use this opportunity to also mention that for the first time, we see a government picking interest in the area of housing data. So the national housing data has come to stay. So we are now having national housing data in the country. This national housing data was an idea that African International Housing Show got involved in 2 years ago with the support of Nigeria Mortgage Refinance and MRC. Then we brought all the people that are supposed to be involved, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, the Central Bank of Nigeria. I must use this morning to thank Reverend Goshuku Shime, Dr. Mba, Director General, Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, the Director General, Nigeria Population Commission. I must also thank the management of Federal Mortgage Bank. All of them contributed. The NMRC is still in charge, ensuring that they are coordinated. So that's a very big achievement for us. We hope that as from 2025, we should be having data, a source where we can pick this is the number of mortgage created in a year, where we can pick this is the number of houses built in a year, built by private developers, built by the government at federal level, built by the state government. So we have started. You get what I'm saying? So these are good achievements. And the land reforms was given serious attention in 2024. We found out that the World Bank is working seriously with the federal government of Nigeria. We are also aware that even the World Bank invited them for collaboration, and I'm aware that this collaboration is still on. These are good side of 2024. I can also not finish the appraisal or the review of what happened in 2024 without acknowledging the new idea called MOFI, Real Estate Development Fund. That's a beautiful one. It has come, and I'm also aware that the people who are in charge of the management have done a lot of consultation. And I think also they have consulted with us in HDAN, and apart from that, I've also met them at the National Assembly. And from all indications, this is a very good achievement for 2024. And let me also say this, that Nigeria Mortgage Refinance also in 2024 got $200 million affordable housing fund from a development corporation in US. This is also a good achievement for us in 2024. And surely, if all those new ideas are well utilized, we can be expecting a better 2025 in the area of funding, especially for the sector. In 2024, the UK delegation that came for Africa International Housing Show did not enter Nigeria without visiting the power that be. They visited the honorable ministers, they visited other leaders in the country, and eventually they gave us a dinner at the UK ambassador's residence, attended by all the leading stakeholders, including the honorable minister. I think these are very good sides of 2024. And that's what I was saying, that we need to commend the stakeholders. We need to commend all the people that have been involved in ensuring that despite the economic barriers, despite the high interest rates, despite the high cost in the building materials, despite the inflation, and the sector was able to end on this note.
Okay, that was a very good review there by Barrister Festus Adebayo, the Executive Director of H-Town.